Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're jumping into a topic that's about to totally reshape how we use technology, Agentic AI. And look, this isn't just another small update or a new app. We're talking about a whole new era where our computers don't just wait for our commands, they actually start to think ahead and get things done for us.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at the big picture, why this is the next AI revolution. Then, we'll nail down what an AI agent actually is. After that, we'll see how they work together, check out some real-world examples, and finally, take a look at the challenges and opportunities on the road ahead. Let's dive in.
All right, let's set the stage. For the last couple of years, we've gotten used to AI that can answer our questions or, write an email for us. But we're moving way beyond that now. The next revolution is all about AI that can actually act on our behalf. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Bill Gates says this is the biggest shift in computing since we went from typing in commands to clicking on icons. Think about that for a second. He's putting Agentic AI on the same level as the graphical user interface, the invention that made computers usable for, well, everybody. That's a huge statement. So this is the key takeaway, right here. We're making a leap from passive generation to proactive action. So instead of you having to juggle 10 different apps just to plan a trip, pretty soon an AI agent will be able to handle the whole thing for you, all on its own.
Okay, so that brings us to the main event. What in the world is an AI agent? There's a lot of buzzwords flying around, so let's cut through the noise and get a really clear definition.
At its heart, an AI agent is basically a piece of software that can operate on its own. It can perceive what's going on around it. It uses a large language model, the same kind of brain that powers ChatGPT, to think and make decisions. And then, most importantly, it takes action to achieve a goal.
And this comparison makes the difference super clear. On one side, you've got your standard bot or assistant. It's reactive, it waits for you to tell it what to do, follows strict rules, and it's usually stuck inside a single app. But an AI agent? Totally different game. It's proactive, it's goal-driven, it can work across all of your different applications, and, this is a big one, it actually learns and gets better over time. So how does it actually work? Well, you can break it down into 3 pretty simple steps. First up is perception. It gathers information from its surroundings, maybe by reading your emails or pinging different APIs, which are just the digital doorways that let apps talk to each other. Step 2 is the brain. This is where the LLM does the heavy lifting, reasoning, planning, and deciding on the next move. And finally, action. It carries out the plan, whether that's booking a flight, drafting an email, or even writing and running a piece of code.
Now, a single agent is powerful, for sure, but the real revolution, the thing that changes everything, is when these agents start working together. This is where we go from a solo act to a full-on symphony of automation. So let's see how that symphony comes together.
And this happens through what are called multi-agent systems, or MAS for short. The idea is brilliant in its simplicity. You have a whole team of specialized agents. One might be a research expert, another an analyst, another a writer, and they all collaborate to tackle a really complex goal. This is what unlocks the ability to automate an entire workflow, not just one little task.
Let's make that concrete. Imagine you're launching a marketing campaign. You could have a research agent that goes out and scrapes all the relevant market data. Then, an analysis agent kicks in to identify key consumer trends from that data. Next, a marketing agent uses those insights to draft a creative campaign proposal. And to top it all off, a project manager agent creates the entire project plan and even assigns the tasks. See how that works? Each one does its part, like a perfectly coordinated team.
Okay, but this raises a huge question, right? If Microsoft builds that project manager agent, but Google builds the research agent, and maybe a startup builds the analysis agent, how on earth do they all talk to each other? They can't just be siloed off.
The answer is they need a common protocol, a universal language that lets any agent plug into and communicate with any other agent. I love this analogy. Think of it as a USB-C port for AI, one single standard to connect them all. And this is already starting to happen. You've got big players creating these standards right now. For instance, Google's A2A protocol is all about helping agents work together on really long, complicated tasks. Meanwhile, Anthropic's MCP protocol is focused on standardizing how agents access tools and data from the outside world. Both are crucial for building that open, collaborative ecosystem.
All right, the technology is fascinating, but let's get to the so what. Why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Let's talk about some of the tangible applications.
Honestly, the impact is going to be felt pretty much everywhere.
In healthcare, agents could help with basic triage, making medical advice more accessible. In education, imagine a personalized tutor for every student that adapts to their interests, using something like Minecraft to teach geometry. And for our day-to-day jobs, agents will automate everything from project management all the way to software development and deployment.
And the economic side of this, it's absolutely massive. The global market for agentic AI is estimated to have a compound annual growth rate of, get this, 33%. That's not a niche technology. That's an economic tidal wave.
I really like how Microsoft's CEO, Satya Nadella, frames this whole shift. He says we shouldn't think of these agents as just tools we use, but as autonomous teammates that we collaborate with to get our work done.
But look, this future isn't going to materialize overnight just by flipping a switch. There are some really significant challenges we have to solve to make this vision a safe and reliable reality.
So what are the major roadblocks standing in the way of getting this technology into everyone's hands?
It really boils down to 4 big ones. First is reliability. We have to make sure these agents are accurate and don't hallucinate or make things up, especially in high-stakes areas like medicine or finance. Second, security and privacy. Who owns the data an agent learns about you? How is it protected? Third is that interoperability piece we just talked about, making sure they can all speak the same language. And finally, user experience. We have to move beyond just typing into a chat box and create truly intuitive ways for people and agents to work together.
So for any organization out there thinking about this, it's a journey. This framework shows a really practical path forward. You start with just building basic digital literacy. Then you start experimenting with simple tools. Then you run some pilot projects, and from there, you can start strategically integrating agents into your core work, until finally, you're innovating with really advanced multi-agent systems. It's a step-by-step process.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe most important question. As these agents become more and more capable, as they start handling the complex tasks that we do today, it forces us to ask some profound questions about our own future. It's not just about what the technology can do for us anymore, it's about what its rise will mean for us. And that's a question we're all going to be answering together. Thanks for joining me for this one.